share with you tonight is the interpretation of this verse. So let me read it for you. He replied, I tell you that to everyone who has, more will be given. But as for the one who has nothing, even what he has will be taken away. Luke 19, verse 26. To be honest with you, the first time I heard this, many years ago, I honestly felt it was nasty. Because it felt very unfair. It is a reminder of the poor get poorer and the rich get richer, doesn't it? And it didn't at that time reflect to me on how I was expecting God to be. Fair, righteous, and equal for everyone. So I didn't understand why it was in a holy book and why would Jesus say such a thing. But I didn't understand at that time something very important, is that the Bible is not a literal book. It is a very psychological book, a book full of stories. And 2,000 years ago, their ways of communicating to each other was a lot through storytelling. And in those stories, they would add deep hidden meanings if one could hear and listen between the lines. So now what you wonder, what is there to see between the lines? It looks very straightforward, doesn't it? So let's start. How do you know that you have something? How do you know that you don't have something, or that you have less or more of something? It's through your awareness, right? You can be aware that you are poor or rich, that you have a car, that you're healthy, that you're sick. Your awareness is what dictates whether you know that you have something or not. So we can say that awareness is the first key to understanding this message, because that what you are aware of is what you will get more of or less of in certain concepts. And Jesus, throughout the Bible, kind of refers to this consciousness, the act of being aware, what we call today consciousness, as being God, as being his Father. And he often said that I and my Father are one and the same. So Jesus knew back then that he is God, and not separate, not different, not special. He just knew that his awareness was the act of creating that which he knows himself to be. So that is to say that your conception of yourself, your identity, who you believe yourself to be, is your act of creating your reality. And today in quantum physics, they tell us that the act of observing something is the act of creating something. It has been proven scientifically 20 years ago. So really the question is, what are you aware of being? What is your conception of yourself? Because if we take an example of money, for example, a person who has money knows himself to be rich, feels himself to be abundant financially, to experience money easily, and he seemingly feels like he's making more and more money without even trying. Yeah? And so we can see from our side perspective that the rich are getting ever richer. In the same way, a poor person knows himself to be poor and has the feeling of lack, maybe even demonize money. And his experience of reality is lack. That is only because he experienced himself to be poor. He declares himself to be poor. When he has this belief, this feeling is an act of creation in and of itself. And that's why Jesus keeps repeating that I am that I am. You are that which you think you are. And especially that which you think you are energetically, if we come back to science a little bit. Because your energy creates your reality. And again, that has been proven by quantum physics. So really, we create our own reality. But yet so many of us interpret this as being unfair, because we tend to give power to something outside of us. But Jesus keeps on repeating to us in his Bible that no. Your awareness of being yourself is God. God is awareness. God is consciousness. God is the universe, if you want to call it in fancy today language. So really, what you need to find is the God between yourself and not outside of yourself if you want to be able to change the creation of yourself. Because that is where our power is, inside of yourself. And so when it says that when I look for myself, I only find God, and when I look for God, I only find myself, it was a very metaphorical way to say that you have the power inside of you to create and change your reality based on what you conceive yourself to be. And he says that again when he says, as the man thinketh in his heart, so he is. And here's the trick. It's not simply enough to think of yourself I'm rich, or I have a blue car, and expecting the blue car to drop. It is for you to know without needing to see it that you already have it. And that's why I said in his heart. So in conclusion, I tell you that seeing is not believing, but that believing is seeing. That which you believe will come forth in your experience. The same way a poor person has brought more experiences to feel his poorness, and a rich person gets more experiences to feel his richness.